Good afternoon. You are welcome to TV Sapienta News Hour. On the news is Oluchi Ojo Bamidele. The governor of Anambra State, Professor Charles Soludo, says ethical leadership promotes transparency, accountability, and merit, urging everyone in the country to embrace it. Governor Soludo said this in Nsukka yesterday while delivering a lecture titled Ethical Leadership, Security and Sustainable Development, organized by the Ethics, AI and Higher Education Strategy, University of Nigeria, Nsukka. He said his administration is anchored on ethical leadership that reward merit, hard work, and qualifications in both employment and appointment, not minding if one is an indigene of Anambra State or not. The governor noted that he has earned the trust of Anambra people because everyone knows he always goes for the best, adding that his mission in Anambra State is to lay solid foundation that will make Anambra State the Dubai of Africa. Soludo further disclosed that his administration is flushing out fake pastors and fake native doctors because these people are deceiving our people, especially youth, by telling them there is no need for hard work, that one can become rich overnight without hard work. He assured that his administration is prosecuting many of them, and if they are found guilty by the court, they will be jailed. In his remarks, UNN Acting Vice Chancellor Professor Ogwejofo Ojam, who was represented by Professor Romanus Ezokonkwo, the Deputy Vice Chancellor of the university, said that they would continue to be guided by fundamental ethics of restoring the dignity of man. Ogwejofo described Soludo as a super lion and great ambassador of UNN who have done the university proud in all ramifications. The National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, has dismissed rumors of extortion or unnecessary sanctions in the wake of its sweeping drug markets crackdown, saying that all investigative charges imposed on traders was in line with federal regulations and law. Addressing the press in Lagos State yesterday, NAFDAC Director General Professor Mojisola Adeleke said the agency acted strictly within the confines of Nigerian law during its high-profile enforcement operation across 3 major open drug markets, Idumota, Lagos, Ariaria, Aba, and the Bridgehead Market, Onitsha, between February 9 and March 27 this year. She stressed that the agency cannot allow a system where people peddle poisons in the name of medicines, insisting that their actions were not only lawful, but were absolutely necessary to save lives. Professor Adeleke noted that the agency could no longer turn a blind eye to the widespread circulation of lethal drugs, which have contributed to countless avoidable deaths. She, however, reaffirmed NAFDAC's commitment to ensuring the safety, efficacy, and quality of all medical products used by Nigerians and pledged to sustain surveillance and enforcement across the country. The Nigerian Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, has said it will probe the tragic and controversial deaths of one Kelechi, a 39-year-old Nigerian man from Awka North, Anambra State, who reportedly died after a violent encounter with Swiss police in Switzerland. In a viral video circulating on X Twitter, shows the moment Kelechi was pinned to the ground by a Swiss police officer, crying out in pain and shouting, "You are hurting me." The video has sparked outrage among Nigerians on social media, with an ex-user at Chooks Erike, who shared the footage, alleged that Kelechi died after the incident. Swiss authorities in a statement claimed the incident occurred during a routine police check related to suspected drug activity in which Kelechi fled the scene but was later apprehended. They further stated that he became unwell during questioning and died despite emergency resuscitation efforts. The Public Prosecutor's Office in the Vaud region of Switzerland has since launched a criminal investigation into the incident. Also, an autopsy and other forensic examinations are currently underway, with crime scene investigators and medical experts involved in the probe. Meanwhile, in an interview, NIDCOM's Director of Media, Public Relations and Protocols, Abdurrahman Balogun, described the incident as very sad and unfortunate. He said if the Commission is able to gather all the necessary information surrounding his death, it will issue an official statement. Also, if the family can reach out to them and send a formal petition, the Commission will be in a better position to know what happened. The Commission further assured the public that it will actively work to get to the bottom of the matter. Osun State Chairman of the People's Democratic Party (PDP), Sunday BC, has declared that the defection of members of the party to the All Progressives Congress (APC) will not stop Governor Adeleke from winning his re-election in 2026. BC described the defection as a storm in a teacup, stating that almost every sector of society was in support of Adeleke's second-term bid. The chairman's statement is coming amid reports that the movement of some PDP members to the APC could jeopardize Adeleke's chances in 2026. Mrs. said Adeleke enjoyed the support of the majority of the people of the state, expressing confidence that they would vote massively for the governor next year, noting that the defections are not a serious matter. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission (INEC) Mahmood Yakubu on Friday swore in 6 newly appointed resident electoral officers (RECs), asking them to always be guided by the electoral legal framework. He also encouraged them to follow the code of conduct for RECs as well as the regulations and guidelines governing the commission's operations. The INEC chairman noted that with the swearing-in of 6 RECs, all vacancies have been filled in the 36 states of the Federation and the Federal Capital Territory. Yakubu also announced that INEC has fixed the governorship elections in Ekiti and Osun State for Saturday, June 20 and Saturday, August 8, 2026, respectively. The National Emergency Management Agency (NEMA) has delivered essential relief items to provide immediate succor to those displaced by a devastating flood that struck the Ege area of Mokwa, Niger State in the early hours of Thursday as search and rescue operations continue. Disclosing this in a statement signed by the Director General of NEMA, Mrs. Zubaida Omar, on Friday, said the relief intervention is part of a swift and comprehensive response by NEMA to the flood, which has tragically claimed some lives and damaged homes and affected livelihoods. Umar noted that based on an on-site assessment conducted on Friday by the NEMA team led by her, no fewer than 100 bodies have so far been recovered as search and rescue operations continue. She said that injured persons evacuated to various health centers in Mokwa have been treated and discharged, while some received immediate first aid at the scene. NEMA added that a comprehensive post-disaster assessment will follow to guide recovery and reconstruction efforts. Now in Delta State, 3 suspected kidnappers have been killed by the Delta State Police Command. The policeman attached to the Commissioner of Police Special Assignment Team engaged the suspects in a gun duel at Ehereni Junction along Ugeri Patani Road on May 27, 2025. The suspects were in a shuttle bus opened fire on the police on sighting them, leading to an intense exchange of gunshots. Speaking, the police public relations officer in the state, Bryce Edafe, said in a statement that 3 of the suspects sustained injuries in the shootout while others escaped. According to him, the injured suspects were taken to the hospital where they died while receiving treatment. Edafe disclosed that 1 AK-47 rifle loaded with 18 rounds of live ammunition were recovered from the hoodlums. The PPRO also revealed that another set of suspected kidnappers, armed robbers and cultists were arrested in another operation in the state. He said on May 24 this year, the police arrested a suspect, Ifeanyi Okolie, also known as Black Jesus, who allegedly specialized in robbing unsuspecting victims of their motorcycles and other valuables within Asaba, Okpanam, Ibusa, and Okwashi Uku. Edafe said the 38-year-old suspect allegedly confessed to be native of Nsukwa community in an Onitsha South local government area of Delta State, but resident of Okpanam area of Asaba. Upon interrogation, the PPRO said Okolie allegedly led operatives to a bush opposite Okpanam City Gate, where 3 locally made guns and 4 live cartridges were recovered alongside a suspected stolen Q-Link motorcycle. The Independent Petroleum Marketers Association of Nigeria (IPMAN) has said the price of premium motor spirit, also known as petrol, may reduce further to 800 naira per litre in the coming days. IPMAN spokesperson Chinedu Okadike, who disclosed this in an interview, says with partnership between petroleum marketers and Dangote refinery, petrol prices may crash further from an average price of between 875 naira and 910 naira per litre in Lagos and Abuja. He urged Dangote Refinery to sell petroleum products to all petroleum marketers at the same rate it is selling to Amares Filling Station and Nigerian National Petroleum Company and others to foster broader competition. A man, Ugochukwu Ezechinyere, has been arrested by the police in Abia State for allegedly conniving with his wife to inflict injuries on his 7-year-old biological son, Master Ugochukwu Destiny. The arrest was made after a report was made to the office of the wife of Abia State Governor, who directed the Abia State Ministry of Women Affairs to swing into action. Acting on the report, a team from the ministry led by the Director of Child Development, Mrs. Josephine Onulaka, on behalf of the State Commissioner for Women Affairs, Dr. Maureen Angokwa, retrieved the child from his school. The Commissioner's representative, Mrs. Onulaka, said that the rescued child will be taken into protective custody by the state government in line with the state's child protection protocols. She urged the members of the public to remain vigilant and to report any abuse of minors to her ministry or to the law enforcement agencies, pointing out that further investigations are being initiated at the residence of the suspects. On a foreign scene, the United States Supreme Court has granted the Trump administration permission to proceed with revoking the legal status of more than 500,000 migrants who entered the country under a humanitarian parole program established by former President Joe Biden. The court's decision issued on Friday affects migrants from Cuba, Haiti, Venezuela, and others who were allowed to enter the U.S. for a 2-year period under the program, which accepted up to 30,000 individuals per month. The policy was designed to offer temporary relief to migrants fleeing countries with severe human rights challenges. In a legal development that could lead to mass deportations, the conservative-leaning court lifted the lower-cost injunction that had blocked the administration's efforts to end the program. Justice Brown Jackson, who dissented the judgment, said that those living under parole protections in this case now face 2 unbearable options. One option is to elect to leave the United States and thereby confront dangers in their native countries, experience destructive family separation, and possibly forfeit any opportunity to obtain a remedy based on their claims, or that they could remain in the U.S. after parole termination and risk imminent removal at the hands of government agents, along with its serious attendant consequences. The parole program has been a point of contention since Trump resumed office and restated his administration's hardline stance on immigration. President Trump, who campaigned on promises to overhaul U.S. immigration policy, has introduced a series of aggressive enforcement measures. According to the BBC, humanitarian parole programs have been used for decades to allow immigrants fleeing war and other dangerous conditions in their home countries to come to the U.S., including Cubans in the 1960s following the revolution. Now on sports, the friendly encounter between Nigerian Super Falcons and Indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon will not hold again today. The first leg of the double-header friendly was scheduled to hold today at the Remo Star Stadium, Ikenne, but has now been postponed on Monday and will hold at the Moshood Abiola Sport Arena, Abeokuta. The postponement was due to the late arrival of Indomitable Lionesses. Head coach Jean-Baptiste Bisek only unveiled his squad on Friday. The players and officials are expected in Nigeria later today. Liverpool have signed Jeremy Frimpong from Bayer Leverkusen, the English Premier League champions, announced yesterday. No fee or length of contract was disclosed, but British media reports said Frimpong had arrived at Anfield on a 5-year deal worth €35 million. News of Frimpong's signing came just hours after Liverpool confirmed Trent Arnold would be joining Real Madrid in time to play in the Club World Cup. Frimpong appears to be a ready-made replacement for England fullback Alexander Arnold, with Liverpool activating 24-year-old Dutch international's release clause. He was a key figure as Leverkusen won their first Bundesliga title in 2023 and 2024 and made 53 appearances in all competitions as they finished second this season. Frimpong, however, will have competition at right back from Northern Ireland defender Conor Bradley, who recently signed a new 4-year contract with Liverpool. To end the news, here are the major news headlines for today. The Nigerians in Diaspora Commission, NIDCOM, has said it will probe the tragic and controversial death of one Kelechi, a 39-year-old Nigerian man from Awka North, Anambra State, who reportedly died after a violent encounter with Swiss police in Switzerland. The United States Supreme Court has granted the Trump administration's permission to proceed with revoking the legal status of more than 500,000 migrants who entered the country under a humanitarian parole program established by former President Joe Biden. And the friendly encounter between Nigerian Super Falcons and the indomitable Lionesses of Cameroon will not hold today again, but on Monday. And that was the TV Sapienza News at 1. On behalf of the technical and editorial crew, I am Oluchi Ojobamidele. Thank you for choosing TV Sapientia. Bye for now.